have a very exciting panel lined up. Diving right into it, we have our second panel. As I say, tomorrow is International Women's Day. And the conversation has already set the stage that, women have a place in the esports scene and arena. And nevertheless, we really wanted to profile and show them to you. So I would like to invite the next panel speakers. And the conversation is really around women in esports. We have players, we have practitioners in the field across the entire ecosystem. So I'll start off by inviting the moderator, Kayesta, who is from Esports Africa News. Please do come take your seat. And then we have Tekken Players, Esport Kenya Federation. We have Bambina in the house. Bambina. Next up, we have, the face Cayenne, who is really a content creator and a pro player, but also the founder of Cayenne TV. So she's going to give us a picture of her entire journey. And I'm really excited to have her here. Cayenne, please come forward. We also have Faith, who's the founder of Gamer Girls Uganda. You had her earlier, so we'll be hearing a lot more of her in this discussion. And lastly, we have Yuchi Ipita, who is the tournament director of Sages Africa. Wonderful, wonderful. And I think with that, I would like to hand over the moderation to Kayesta, who will walk us through this very exciting session. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Once again, good afternoon, everybody. Are you guys not excited to see women on stage? Please, let's give a round of applause for everyone sitting here because they deserve it. We're celebrating women. You guys, clap for them. Okay, she has done all the introduction, but should we just go right into it? I think we should just go right into it. So I'm going to start with Bambina because we have a special connection. So Bambina, yeah, you are a competitive player, yeah? Can you briefly tell us your story?
Oh, wow. To everyone, the organizers, thanks for having us. My name is Magdalene Mumbinjeri, also known as Bambina in the gaming scene. I'm a chess educator back in my country. I'm also a Tekken pro player. And my journey started in 2018, so it's been 10 years in the gaming scene. And I, of course, started as casual gamer. Then I came to learn there is an industry known as esports, and I transitioned into competitive play. And before I became good, I got in the competitive play of EAFC. 2018 all the way to 2023, and then I got knocked out very badly by the younger girls, and then I found Tekken 8 through the stages 2024, the one that we did in DRC with Faith, and that's how I started playing Tekken Pro. My journey has been competitive. Yet, I noticed there are gaps in terms of the ecosystem. There are so many gaps. So I had to step up, become a community builder, at the same time still be a player.
Awesome. That's an interesting journey. Nisha, being the director, tournament director for Sages Africa, do you think it's an exciting role for women, seeing that the space is really dominated by men?
Yeah, usually we have a lot of men as a director in tournament. It's special to see a woman, but I think women can do the same job than a man. It's okay, we can do it. So that's why I'm here, and I would like to let women know that we can do the same job than a man. In tournament as the director, the manager. I started in 2021 with Bandai France, with a lot of tournaments. I travel a lot for Evo, for TGU, mix-up, a lot of countries, just to let people know and see that, yeah, a woman can do the same job than a man.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Faith Dorothy. She has moved from being a player, from just being a player, to now organizing this amazing tournament. So my question for you would be, how can organizations, communities, and tournament organizers make esports spaces safer and more welcoming for everyone?
First of all, they need to recognize that the space, the industry, the community needs to be safe. And they need to practice safety every single day. They need to be the ambassadors. We need to be the ambassadors of safety in the industry. And yeah, when you're a leader, especially in a community, everyone is looking to you. So you are a representative, you're an ambassador. And as humans, we copy from the people we admire or that we respect. So be an example and put the light out in the world, in the industry, in the community. So, but also collaborate with each other. I think, unfortunately, in Africa, we struggle with collaborating with one another. So if we understand that the pie is big enough for everyone, and everyone can have a bite of it and be happy, we will be the better for it. So we need to collaborate, and I am happy for such an event to be happening, and pushing for the collaboration of the East African region to show us that if we collaborate, if we work together, we can achieve much more than we can do in silos alone.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you, please, because it's not easy as a female, right? You get male telling you, you can't do this. You're supposed to be in the kitchen cooking, making breakfast and dinner. But that brings me over to you, Kayani. What role do mentors and role models play in encouraging more women to join the esports scene?
I think the mentor is very important, but most of all, the support from women each other is more important in the scene. I've witnessed a lot of female players, especially very young players. I have a good example with Neya, who is now sponsored by the biggest team Vitality in France, the biggest esports team. She's 16 years old, and she has signed recently with them, and I could take care of it. But the thing is, it all started with an Instagram message. She sent me a message, and I'm grateful that I could see it because I have many messages, but this one I could see. And she was, I want to come to Tekken tournaments. I really want to, but I don't know. I'm a female player. I'm young, so I'm not sure if I have a place there. So I replied her, you have to come. I will be in charge of you. I will take care of you. So please come, and I will present you over players that I trust and that you can play and train with. She came. She was very shy, but when I played with her, I thought she had the level to be one of the best in the world. Really, I'm not exaggerating. I've played many people in the world for 20 years at least, and I see the potential. And it was the first offline event she did. After that, she beat European champions. She beat the strongest French player, Jod, and she beat the strongest European player, Tibetano, at Evo France, one of the biggest tournaments in France and in the world. It was 1,200 people in Tekken 8. She got 17.
Whoa.
And we went to Japan together with her family. We just arrived, and then I had to go to Uganda. But that was the first time she could travel abroad with her family at only 16 years old. And when we were in Japan, we had a whole female team to play against Japanese players. And I could see that for her, it was very important to have female friends so that she could feel very strong. And I think that's the mentor is very important for female players like her, because if she's only surrounded by men, she would not find the happiness she has with female players, So I think that to be strong, you have to be surrounded by good players around you that wish you the best, really, truly. At all the tournaments she played, and when she lost, she cried. I really cried like that. And everybody called me Kayane, and Naya is crying. And I'm like, okay, I will try to do my role as a sister. But in Japan, because she was surrounded by the female players from Japan, from Korea, me, and the Philippines, that was the first time she didn't cry after losing. She even smiled. So I was like, okay, you're growing up. I'm happy. But I think it's mostly because she was in a team with other female players. So I really think that to evolve and have a better mentor, you need to be surrounded by good people. And as a female player, we need to be together.
Yes, absolutely. We all need the support that we can get 100%. And I love what you did with the young lady, because some other people would just overlook that tiny detail, but you didn't. You literally picked her up from where she was to where she is now. And I hope that the future is massively bright for her and for you too. So a general question to you four beautiful women will be, where do you see esports for women in the next 5 years?
It's a difficult question.
Is it?
Because even me, I didn't think I would go to Uganda this year. I never know where I'm going. And I come back from Japan. I'm going to Uganda 5 days after. And last year I went to Egypt, first time too. I don't know. There's so many things happening. And I think that's really great to see that in the recent years, we could see that Tekken 8 has changed the life of Malagasy players, players from Madagascar. In 2 years, Tekken 8 has 2 years now. And it's crazy to see how in 2 years you can make a career and the life changing thanks to Tekken 8. And I couldn't even think of it 2 years before. But just because I could meet the Madagascar players, because I could travel there too to meet the players, I could see how the game and the scene has changed the players' lives. And I think that now with these kinds of tournaments, Swahili Sport Champions, the tournaments that Sages is organizing in Africa, it's going to change a lot of lives too. Because it's not only the players, it's also organizations, it's associations here in every country. You have Esports Nations Cup coming too, and we want Africa to be there. So it's going to change so many things in the next year. Not even 5 years, but just this year and next year, it's going to be very important. But for now, I think Africa really needs to have people that want to change things and have a good will to work all together. And I think Africa has a very good level. Madagascar is very strong. But when we went to Mauritius for the Island Esports Championship, we could see that the Mauritius player was very, very strong too. She almost beat Jinx in the semifinals. So she could really go far away.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to find the talents in every country and make them aware that something is happening. Communication is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you have a lot of job to do.
Yes, we do. Faith, what do you think?
I don't know. Just like her, I don't know. All I know is that it is important for us who already see the vision to carry it forward and evangelize and preach the gospel of esports. They need to see that, the opportunity there is, and we are also here to support them. And especially for women, this is why Gamer Girls Uganda exists, to create a community, a safe space for gamer girls or any woman of any age who wants to explore the world of gaming, not just to play video games, but to get into the industry, to explore the career paths and possibilities in the industry. So it is our duty as the ambassadors of esports in Africa and across the world to keep on spreading the gospel of esports and what is possible, and support
the ones that don't see it yet, but have the talent and want even the passion for it. I am not a prophetess, so I cannot say in 5 years we shall be here, but I hope that in 5 years we shall have, at least for every country in Africa, that we should have a very dominant community of gamers and female gamers, most importantly. Thank you so much, Neisha. Let's hear your POV.
It can be a good thing to hear, Bambina, because it changed your life. I see.
I don't want to say where we're going to be at. I want to talk about what we should do for us to get there. First of all, a skill has no gender. Let's start from there. A woman can be very good at the game, so does a man can be good at the game. So we need to change this. We need to demystify esports as a male-dominated, as a male sport, and encourage more women into esports. Back in Kenya, we're facing probably the same problem. You'll find that in a tournament, there are only 2 consistent faces. All the other 15 are new girls. Every new tournament, all the other 15 faces are new girls. So we need to encourage women to be consistent, because esports rewards discipline, it rewards consistency, it rewards strategy, it rewards creative thinking. So for us to get there, as the people who are already in the community, we really need to talk to the girls. And your story of the 16-year-old, that can change so many stories here in Africa, especially here in East Africa. We need to start from there. And then one question I wanted to give to Desiree when he was presenting is how many years for us as Africa to get to where Europe is? It could be 10, could be 20, but we need to start from somewhere.
Absolutely. I totally agree. For me personally, I think in the next 5 years, women in esports is going to blossom, because a lot of women are seeing what we're doing. That is why it is very important for us at every step. We are making sure we're passing that gospel, right? We are preaching the importance of being self-disciplined, not to just come out and say whatever, because people are actually watching you. These younger ladies are looking up to us, to hold on to the career in esports, not just as a gamer or as a presenter, but someone that, could make a living of it. So to my next question, Faith, what would you tell a young girl who wants to be a gamer or who wants to delve into esports?
Just start. Just do it, like Nike. Just do it. Show interest. Reach out to the people who are already doing it. And this is why we are out here. We are not hiding ourselves under a table and keeping this information to ourselves. So just do it. If you have the dream to be a player, to be involved in esports in the industry, put yourself out there. Reach out. You can Google women in esports in Africa. Google. We have the internet. Reach out. Like Kayane said, Nea reached out. The 16-year-old reached out to her on Instagram, DM'd her, and look where she is. Yeah. She has beaten people in Europe. Europe is one of the strongest continents when it comes to Tekken especially. So look where she is now. What we can learn from them, what a young girl of 14, 16 years old can learn is just do it. And as I always say, show up. Because you see, this is and like any industry, most industries are very gated, especially for women. So you're not going to wait just in your house, in your room, for someone to come and pull you from there. You have to get yourself out there, be discovered, and then they can push you. For women, we are here to show you that we
okay, maybe we haven't made it to the maximum, but we are doing it. We have done it, and so can you. And also, I think it is important to have African representation in video games.
Yeah.
Most of the video game characters are either Asian or European or American. We need more African characters in games. And this is why it's also important for Africans to make video games. And the video game development industry in Africa is still young, but it is growing. So it is important for these games to go mainstream, for us to promote them. And if a young girl in Nigeria, in Uganda, in Kenya sees a video game and there's a character that looks like them, then they'll be like, you know what? Maybe I should try this. It might introduce them to the game. One of the newest characters in Tekken 8 is Miarizu from Madagascar. And I believe many Madagascans right now are playing that character. So it shows you, and you see when the developers of Tekken 8 were developing that character, they went all the way to Madagascar, spent months, getting to know the community, getting to know the culture, the history of Madagascar, and all those things are represented in that character. So also, this is a call to game developers to expand their reach, to explore the different cultures beyond Europe, America, beyond Asia, but to come down south to Africa and tell those stories through the video games.
Thank you so much for that explanation. Yeah, I was only coming to you. Sorry. So first, I'm sorry for my English, but I would like to say if you're not strong at the game, on the video game, you can still contribute in esports ecosystem as the organizer, as the admin, because like esports is not just play a game, it's like prepare a game, write every rules, meet players, or speak with everyone, that know what we will do, what's happening for this tournament, and make sure everything is okay. So if you're not strong, it's okay. Just come, let us know you're motivated because you want to do something in FGC or in esports thing. So that's what I wanted to say. For example, I'm not a pro gamer. I like to play Tekken 8, Tekken 1, but I'm not good. I'm just good to help for organizer. The organizer, for example, for Swahili Sports, for Mauritius Island, I support a lot of tournaments, but I'm not a pro gamer. I'm just good for this sport. So I would like to let people know, players know, women know that it's okay. It doesn't matter if you're not good. You can still contribute with your personality, with your job as well. So
I've just remembered an anecdote. So the first time I played a video game ever, I was 5 years old. My father had just bought a new computer and she even wasn't sure how to operate it. But out of curiosity, I switched on the computer. First thing I saw, back in Windows, maybe, I don't remember, XP, 97, I remember, there was, in accessories, there were games. That was the first thing I found. And for me, I was hooked. And before you know it, I taught my father how to use a computer. Fast forward to today, there's this program called Mavis Beacon. It teaches people how to type.
yeah.
But it also has a section where you learn how to type with games. Yeah. And that was my favorite pastime. Fast forward, I type very fast, but it also got me curious about ICT. And today I am a software engineer. So You see, you don't have to be good at the games, but it can open you. Video games can open you to a whole new world. Yeah, can open you to STEM, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And there are so many things you can do. Content creators are making the most money right now. You know, graphic designers, look at the artwork behind us. Someone came up with this artwork. They are working in the esports industry. They are not playing the game, but they are designing. We have media. They are broadcasting this. We have, the photographers, the videographers. We have the organizers. We have the game developers. So now we are going back into programming and software engineering. The people that build the games that we play. We have journalists. We have federation presidents. There is something for everyone. Just like any industry, there is something for everyone, and there are so many roles that can be taken up. So I think the first step is to recognize the industry and try to understand it, then explore where you lie in it. Thank you so much. Kayani, I have a question for you. And my question is, looking back at your journey, I mean, you've been in this space for more than 10 years now, right?
25 years now.
That's 2 decades, and that's amazing. Wow. I have a long way to go. Okay. So yeah, looking back at your journey, at what point did you decide and say, okay, I'm not going to be a doctor, I'm not going to be a lawyer, I want to be in the esports space, I want to be a pro gamer? Yeah, at what point?
Well, I started fighting games when I was 7 years old. I started tournaments at 9. I met Desiree at 14 years old. And I've been to all the Gamers Assembly events he organized in France for 20 years now. He saw me growing up, actually. Yeah, it's crazy. We know each other for so long. He hasn't changed. Same face, anyway. But yeah, it's been so long. And I was very good at the game because my brothers trained me. They made me compete, and they see I have a good level. But back then, there was no social networks, no YouTube, no Twitch. So besides working in a video games company, you could not think of living of that. So it was quite hard at first to think of living of video games. But when I was 18 years old, I started to be sponsored. So the companies would pay for me to go to tournaments and play. So I thought it was great actually to at least not lose money by traveling to tournaments and compete. So I started doing that. And at the same time, I was in my business school in France. And I was called to work on TV at the TV channel called Game One. So I was business school, also a TV host. And my parents would always ask me, when will you have a good job? I said, okay, I'm finishing my studies and then you'll see, I'll go somewhere. Then I finished my studies and I was 23 years old. And my parents say, okay, now you have to work in a company. I say, actually, no, I don't want to work in a company because I've been in an internship, something you do for 2 weeks in a company. And I figured out that it's not my world. It's not something I can belong. I can't work in a company. So I told my father, I'm going to try 1 year. Please leave me 1 year. I'm going full time on what I love, fighting games, video games, and I do my best. Yeah. So he said, I don't trust your project. Really, I don't trust video games. I don't think you should do that because it's your hobby. It should stay your hobby. But in case everything goes wrong, you still have a room in your house. So it's like a dad's support, I guess. I think it's like cheering for you without trusting what you're going to. But at least I had a home. If everything goes bad, I have somewhere to stay and sleep.
Yeah.
So I think it gave me a lot of strength and courage to go full time on it. And since then, it's been more than 10 years full time, and my company is growing and growing, and I earn more money every year.
even with COVID, because you have to have different kind of jobs. You know, I have content creations. I'm also a sponsored player, so I travel and play and represent brands. I also TV host, and I have my Twitch channel and YouTube, all the social networks with companies asking for me to talk about their products or their games, and I'm being paid for that. So even at a moment when there's COVID, then I would be streaming. And if I can't stream and that there's events, like today, I'm traveling, I'm going to events, then it's also my job. So you need to have different kind of jobs, I think, to live from video games for a long time. You cannot just be a competitive gamer. And that's what I'm telling to the Madagascar players that I'm meeting. Players like Kimi, Kamjin, like Jinx and Neo. They are icons in Madagascar now. They are able to live from video games, and it's really new in this country. In France, we are more and more than me. But in Madagascar, there's just a few. So I'm telling them, if you want to keep that job, you have to talk more. You have to make people aware that you exist. What is your job? And then you can be a model. You can be a role model for other women and even other players to just stop the game and play and try it too. And I think that my life has just started to be a dream because I give it a try. I think it's just that. Nobody trusts me in my family. But now they're like, oh, you're traveling the world for playing games. It's crazy. I didn't think of this, but when you try, at least you don't have any regrets. I don't want to have a life with regrets. So that's something in me I can't. I have to try.
Yeah.
Even if I win or lose, doesn't matter. I tried my best. So it's something that everybody should tell themselves, you know. And then now I'm really living the best life. Even in Uganda, I'm eating so well. Eating so well. People are so nice to me. So yeah, I think
I'm very happy for you. Wow, what a journey. I'm just 2 years in the game and I'm actually enjoying it. Imagine what I would be in like 20 years. I think I would be like you too, eating so well. So Bambina, competitive player, what has been your challenges in esports, being a female?
And I'm just gonna put it broadly. I think the biggest challenge we have in esports is the ecosystem, and I'm gonna break it down. If you compare to places like Europe, they have fast internet. So there's the issue of infrastructure especially, let me talk about Kenya and East Africa. There's the issue of infrastructure. We're saying, well, there's no fast internet. You're playing at 200 plus ping. Someone is on 60. I mean, yeah. And infrastructure, like equipment, is very expensive. So for me, before I got my first console, I only bought my first console 2 years ago. And I had been in the industry for a long time because it's very expensive. And getting it was a highlight for me as a competitive gamer. That means I could train online and play with other players online. Apart from internet and infrastructure, we have the governance issue, which was sorted out some time back, but still has a lot of work to be done. Other challenges have been going to a tournament and you find like there's a particular tournament called the Savannah Circuit that happens in Kenya, and I'm very passionate about Tekken now because now I understand the combos, I understand the frame traps because my coach has taught me that, and it's so fun to play Tekken. Now the biggest challenge for me is when I go to these tournaments, I'm the only female there, and there are other 20 men. So there's the issue of intimidation for me because they are really, really good. And would appreciate if we were 5 females, there's the confidence in it. So yeah, the challenges have revolved around infrastructure and let's say proper representation.
Awesome. Representation is very, very key. And presentation too is very key. So as women in esports, we all have a lot to do because, like she said, going into a tournament and finding just yourself as a player, reverse that, if it was a guy or if it was a man, you will not be intimidated because your fellow guys, right? And you will just play your best. Okay. So I just want the audience to give us one last question. I will call this a wrap. Any question from the audience?
My question is what we can do to bring in more girls to administrative roles. And she's asked me, what are we doing? I've given you an example of in 2020, 2 years ago, we did something in Nairobi, which was a Women in Esports Forum. And the idea was for girls to continue having that because for that particular event, the organization, the running of the event was being done by boys and men. Yeah. But the idea was we want to step back because it's even not looking good for partners. We are going to invite them to a ladies only event or a ladies themed event, and we are men in suits speaking to them. So I've never found to know why. Maybe it's our approach. That's why I'd like to know why Bambina also has mentioned the same thing as a tournament. Why is it that the repetitive faces will be 2 or 3 every time you'll be having new? What can you do for retention? Why are we not retaining?
So the question is, what can the administration do for women to be more involved? Yeah, did you get the question?
I think mentorship is important. I don't think it's enough to throw them in that deep end and hoping that they will swim to shore. Mentorship is important, guiding them, and mentorship also means introducing them to the people that matter. Unfortunately, even in 2026, we still have to talk about women not being recognized or respected in some rooms. Some women will enter a room, you're going to talk to men in suits, towering over you, probably 20, 30 years older than you. And even as you speak, they are not listening because they don't respect you as a woman. So one of the things you can do as administration is walk the line with them. Hold their hand, go introduce them to these people. It's a few of us who can just walk into someone's office and be like, so here is the thing. That is not everyone's, I don't think everyone has that skill or that ability to do that. So holding their hand across the line, not just have thrown in a deep end, figure it out. Also, swimmers need to learn how to swim. So you have to hold their hand. I think that is important. And also, we are connected. I know you, you know me. Let's talk to them. If you put someone in charge of something, we can help. This is why we are creating these communities, these connections, so that we can help each other. Yeah, I am willing to jump on a call and help. I'm putting it out there. Jump on a call and help anyone. Doesn't matter where they're from. And I believe the women on this panel at least would do the same thing. So let us hold each other's hands. Let us, support each other, collaborate, and not gatekeep, most importantly. I'm glad that you are not gatekeeping and you are giving these responsibilities to women, but let's go beyond just that.
Also, just to add on that, I feel like there's something missing. I'll go back to the point I made earlier. It's about demystifying what esports is and what role women can take up in esports. Ronnie, there's an initiative called Sage, Such a Coincidence. You know about it? Sage initiative. It has a very strong women like Pat Murage. I don't know if you've reached out to them, but those are the people you should be having the conversation with. This, like Pat, is just, she'll just get the job done. So maybe start from the female led initiatives like the Sage Initiative. Also to mention, there's Females in Gaming Network. It's an African umbrella spearheaded by Sophia from Nigeria, and she's doing an amazing job. I jumped on a call some time back, and I found women from Zimbabwe, from Senegal, from everywhere. So we need to start from those initiatives that are already there, and then we can move from there, because this is a complicated dance and we don't have the right shoes for it. So we just need to start with whatever shoes we have. We'll be able to buy those expensive shoes. Yeah.
And my answer to that also would be it's a communication thing. Like, okay, you have a relationship with Sages, you can easily ask them, okay, how can we support women in this tournament? Seeing that it's a women thing. Or you can even create a tournament for women. So it's not even the idea of how can you help. It is stretching out the hand, even when, nobody is talking about it. You can actually provide initiative. You can initiate it. We don't have to always come to you guys, yeah? Am I speaking right? Yeah. We don't always have to come to the administration or to the federation. How about you guys come to us and say, okay, you need help anywhere. How can we help you? A lot of women will bombard your phone. Don't worry. Right? So that's it. You have a question, sir?
Yeah. I just want to say that I want to thank all of you for this wonderful presentation that you guys have done.
Thank you.
But I want also to tell you the challenge that we are facing also at the Federation. And not only on the Federation, but on the other things, because as much as we want to involve women, there are limitations that are above our limit, where at the family level, even if you need that lady to participate here and the family are not able to cooperate with you, you can't do anything on that. And this is an area that I wanted people like you who are advocating women to find a way of making sure that the message of women involvement in a positive way reach the families. It will make more positive way when a female like you saying it than me telling the woman. So it is very important that we need to do that much advocacy, all of us, and I'm very happy that all you are very committed to this, and you want to help us to make sure that this is something that it is something that is important, not me, because what I want is the federation to work. But what we want to do is to help that girl to achieve what she wants. That's the bottom line. So we want to help that young woman to be like you, like her, like any other person. But to convince the family is something that needs a lot of work. So that is something that I want to say. Thank you.
Okay, so the question is, how do you convince a young girl, right, that the federation wants to sponsor? Let's say there's an initiative or a tournament like this, and there's a young girl that wants to participate in that tournament. But he's saying the challenge they have is convincing that parent, let's say the young girl is a minor, convincing that parent to allow her participate in the tournament. So do you have any solution to what you just asked?
This is the role of the media and, organizations like Esports Africa News, who put a spotlight on things like this, who put a spotlight on the women in esports, who put a spotlight on people like Kayane, who have, I think, as an ambassador of the project and someone who has a big portfolio when it comes to the industry, it comes back to the media to put a spotlight on such people, so that as our federation president is going to convince someone's parent, they'll just Google and see, for example, this is Kayane, okay? This is what she has done. This is what, these days you can even Google someone's net worth. Yes. You can show examples of Nair, her holding the prize card,
the checks showing that she won this amount of money, you know. I actually have a report that shows how much the biggest content creators in gaming all over the world make from 2020. There's no update yet. I can share it with everyone. It is one thing that you can show. You say, this is the potential, but you show them actual Africans, for example, who have earned from it. Mr. President, you have a player here, Maria, right? She is going to participate in this tournament. We don't know what position she will get, but she will get some money. She will go home with money. Her parents will see this. Her family will see this. They will benefit from it. She will benefit from it. Now, it's also your responsibility as the federation president to show everyone in your country that you can be like Maria. Yeah, there is this opportunity. She made this amount of money. Her life has changed. The life of her family has changed. So we have to evangelize. We have to tell that story and show them the examples of real life people who look like them, and even if they don't look like them, but who have achieved that, and they will believe you. When I had gone to pick Desiree and the Kayanes from the airport, Desiree shared with me a story of Kimi from Madagascar. She won the first Swahili Esports champions, and then Congo Esports champions as well, but also has traveled across the globe and has won prizes there. So now, for Congo Esports champions and Swahili Esports champions, as the top prize, she got $1,000. Before that, because she was a minor, I think she was 17 at the time, the mother was even scared to let her come to Kenya, you know. It's like, my daughter is going to be a sex slave. You know, she's scared because this is your daughter, your child. You don't know where she is going. You're scared until, you know, they convince her, we shall take care of her. You can send her with someone, you know. And she came and she beat us black and blue and went back with her $1,000, which changed her life. After that, I'm being told that the mother wakes her up every single morning, go and train. Before that, she did not even know what gaming is. So she's in school, she's at university in business school, but the mother wakes her up very early in the morning and is like, Madam, go to the game station and train, because she has seen what it has done for her daughter and how it has changed the lives of their family. So also being representatives, being in this position is being an ambassador to your community back at home. Now their family knows about esports. Their family knows about how much it can change their lives. So it starts small like that.
I have something to add with the example of Neya, 16 years old, at Team Vitality now. I went to her house. I went to meet the family, and I made sure to explain everything about esport to her mom. The dad couldn't come, but I wanted the dad also to be here, to listen to me. And I told them, if you sign Team Vitality, you have a salary, you have a lot of money for Neya to travel, but not only Neya, because she's a minor. A parent can come. It doesn't matter if it's a sister, or brother, or mother, or dad. It will be allowed. So that's crazy. I told the family that I've been here for 25 years. It's, of course, you won't meet always good people, but I'm here for her. I will be making sure she's spending a lot of positive times with me and other players I trust. But of course, you will have a lot of jealousy, especially because you're signing a 16 years old female player in 6 months only. She showed up, and 6 months after, she is in the biggest team in France. So of course there will be a lot of jealousy, but I'm here to protect her for that. So the mother signed the contract with me, and she said, okay, but she has to graduate. So of course I make sure that Neya is also studying because she's really young now. I make sure that when she competes, she registers, go to the right city, because she's very shy. She doesn't ask others, but she would always ask me for like random questions. When she arrived in Japan, she called me. I replied, and she said, "Where are the taxi?" I'm like, you have taxi signs everywhere. But at least I'm happy she's asking me for anything. Because I know when she will be really in trouble, she will ask me, and I will be here to reply. And her mom was there in Japan with her too, and she saw I was there. So I think it's really important for a federation, association, who wants to motivate young girls or young men, that you are here to help. You are here to present to the family also what this job is about. It's very important for parents to know, because they don't know anything about esports, and you have your 16 years old girl that are going to be in a big team, be always in socials. You have to tell them what's happening. So that's what I did. I went to a family. It was 1 hour and a half from my house, but I went there, and it was very hard to go back home, but at least I went there. Yeah. So I think it's really important to be able to talk to the parents and take this time, because now Neya is traveling with the family, and before signing, there was always a brother or sister with her, and I thought that it was really cool to have a family supporting her even when there was no money. I think it's quite rare. I told Neya every time, you are very lucky to have a family supporting you, because my parents would not allow that, but you have the chance. Not many children have the chance to have the parents allow you to play video games all weekend, all week, but they did. And I think when you have a family supporting you, you can do anything. So that's why I was also confident that going to the home and explain what it is about, they will accept the contract. And I don't need any money from that. A lot of people say, you're too kind. I'm like, she's a 60 years old girl. I'm not taking money from her, I'm just doing this because she's going to be a role model, and she's already. And it's just good for the scene. And I hope that she will motivate many, many players to play, and also sponsors to be aware that sponsoring young talents is also very important.
Yeah.
So it's good for the industry as well to have role model like her, young players.
Thank you so much, Kayani. I'm sure you have your answer. So please, it's important for them to know, the parents to know, that the ends justifies the means. It's important for them to know that you can have financial stability just being a player, a pro player. And there's loads of opportunity for these young girls, and impactfulness towards their lives too. Not necessarily that they have to leave education, because education is very important, but you just have to let them know that they're being covered. So I'm sure in Federation, there are women that can take up that challenge and say, okay, I will go to their parents to convince them and reassure them that their child is in a safe hands. I'm sure you're good, sir, yeah?
No, thank you so much. I think actually the answers are good. But what I just want to underscore here is that I just want everyone, all of us, to make sure that whenever we are thinking about women involvement in whatever activities we are doing, we don't need to think beyond this table. We need to think beyond this table. Our work is just the same work like what you are doing. So we want to make sure that there is another level that we need to reach out to. And I want to say, like, when we were planning this tournament, I was very happy with these players that was put out, the queen. That queen, I put it across to different women in South Sudan, and they were very happy with it. This is a small flyer, but it makes a big difference. So a lot of people were able to understand, oh, these young women are going to be queen, and why not me? So we need to do a lot of advocacy at the community level so that the community understands that it is our joint activity that we need to do together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So, sorry, did you ask a question in between? Yes, we are queens and we are women, celebrating Women's Day and celebrating women everywhere in the world, both in Africa and diaspora. Thank you so much, Bambina. Thank you, Naisha. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Kiyadi. Thank myself because I'm because I'm also a woman. And thank Stages and everyone who has listened to our story. We hope that you tell your wives, tell your daughters that there's space, lots of space for women in esports. Thank you, everyone. Signing.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for these fantastic ladies and for doing such an excellent job. I feel like we needed a whole day dedicated just to really unpack women in esport. But what is very clear is that opportunities are endless beyond just the player role. The ecosystem is really wide, but the ladies, what has come out very clearly is they are mentioning that they need more representation. There is a demand for safe spaces for them to exist, but also that they're ready to battle it out moving forward. And we're really excited about that.